Hey there, hi there, ho there. Hello there, my name is Adam. Welcome back to the channel Kaputy Inc. Today we're going to do a little tour of a dump wagon I built. Well, me and another guy built. It started out as a V-Box Vermeer spreader and a dump box off of an old dump truck. And now I think it's a pretty slick dump wagon. So let's go check it out.
I'm trying to go as fast as I can.
Off in the distance here, that guy there is a V-Box off the spreader that's been put onto a frame that goes onto a shaker deck that's eventually going to be like a dirt screening plant. It's coming along. It'll get its time. But this is what we got going on here. So we took the frame and we split it because the cross members were all rotted out of it. The fertilizer these things spread. It was crazy. The frame rails and everything were good. The axles were still good, but every cross member was junk, and even the cross members holding up the V-Box. The V-Box is in good shape. It's just the cross members, they got places where manure or whatever can get, or fertilizer can get stuck, and that's what you get. So we split the frame and squared it back up. We took and cut the neck right here, and we did it at the point where the rails were like 12 inches apart, because that's how much we had to take out of the cross members to narrow it up to like the 34 or whatever width that the box frame is. And we just slid the springs over here in on the axle shaft. We drilled new locating holes, and it seems to be working pretty well. Here you can see the cross members we put in it. Some nice big thick box tubing. In the center there we have some, I do believe it's 12-inch C-channel, and in the back it's got 12-inch C-channel too. This was a hoist off a dump truck, like off a 1-ton dump truck. So we just had to make new saddles down here for it to weld to the frame, and then it was already attached to the upper box. It had its own subframe before, but that was junk, but the rest of the box is in pretty good shape, so we were able to just put it directly onto the frame. Back here we put in some heavy angle iron on top of the frame. We cut it in and capped everything, and then we just got some hinges. I just bought these. They're like heavy duty dump hinges. I think they came off like eBay or Amazon, something to that order. And then back here was another big piece of C-channel. It worked out perfect. Reached down, it grabbed the spring shackle hangers there, whatever you want to call those. And then we also added a hitch back here because that was part of this big piece of angle iron. I think it was actually the bumper off my dad's Jeep project we did. So this big thick piece of angle iron had the hitch on it already, so if somebody was trying to tow something, or if you needed to get behind it and pull, you know, you'd have a good anchor point there. We haven't cut the lights in, but it's just going to get a tail light here. We're going to clean these three guys up, and there'll be another tail light over here. And then we will have lights so this thing can go buzzing down the road. Here you can see the axle. The spring initially sat about here. We just slid it in 6 inches, drilled new locating holes in the bottom. You got all new U-bolts everywhere. The old U-bolts were starting to get pretty thin to begin with, so I got new U-bolts and plates, so she's ready to ride. All right, as far as the tailgate goes, I guess I would prefer if it still did both top and bottom latches, but the previous owner just made this the permanent latch, so it just comes off the top here, which it still works. You dump stuff or whatever, but you can latch it and unlatch it. Tailgate down, dump stuff out. I think it's going to work pretty slick. So this side, the dump sides of this, had, these used to be fold down, but the hinges were junk or whatever, and somebody had already welded the other side up solid. It was pretty easy on the inside. There was plenty of places to add solid beefness. Up front here, this was rusted out, so we just added a new plate. We cut the rust out, added a new plate here that reached around and grabbed the front, so that this side is permanent now. Some new top boards so that you have plenty of space, extra space to haul stuff. And if you were to hit the top of this with something, you're just damaging a fairly cheap board, depending on what time of the year it is. But anyways, the board can be damaged versus the top of the rail. Add a little custom paint to the side of it. We got a little dark gray, and then we did like a strobe stripe here. So I think that looks pretty cool. We got the wheels sandblasted and painted. I still got to paint the hubs on it. But other than that, the body turned out pretty sweet. We got the whole thing sandblasted down to bare metal where it needed to be. Everywhere else, if the sandblaster was hitting it long enough and the paint was thickened, well, that's a good enough primer to paint too. So I think it's turning out pretty nice. Up front here, still got the factory jack. It works. It's almost unnecessary though, because the tires keep it held fairly level. But if you were trying to hook it up and you needed to adjust the tongue height, that would be good. You can see the tongue there has been reinforced. What we did was we actually cut this here, used to be up here. We cut that off, tucked it underneath, welded it all up inside and out, added some gussets, added some top gusseting or whatever to make this extra strong. There's surge brakes in here. They don't work. There's no line going to the back, but all the parts are there, and this is just a factory lime spreader, so you could, in theory, should be able to get all these parts still. And then if you're going to hook it up to the trailer, you get your hydraulic lines. Those just your standard Pioneer couplers, but goes up and down, and this thing will go pretty much straight vertical. So, what do those look like, Andy? Are those nice? Do they look new to you?
Kind of.
God damn it, Andy. They're brand new. Say, yeah, Dad, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Oh, I appreciate the enthusiasm. Wrap it up. That's going to do it for our dump wagon build. Sorry it's been so long since my last video. Busy season hits, doing excavating, a lot of demo work, a little pad building, etc. Gravel hauling. We got a landscape center, so you know, hopefully we try and get a couple more in. Wintertime hits, and then it's all the time. So hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.
Your face is through.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Okay. Go in here. You're gonna follow me out, okay?
Okay. Where are we gonna stay?
You see me?
Mm-hmm.
See my face?
Yep.
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.